It becomes more complicated now when we have a rectangle like this, and I'm not going to draw the grid perfectly here, but let's pretend this is 4 long and 3 high. Okay. So that we get a grid like this. So pretend that's a perfect grid.
Okay.
Does that show up okay? Am I writing dark enough?
Yeah.
Okay. And we were asked how many rectangles here, again with sides parallel to the axes, because one complicated thing, if you didn't require them to be parallel, is this would be a rectangle, right?
Yeah.
So we don't want that. We want only parallel sides. I wasn't writing at one point. So ignore that. Ignore that thing I drew. So what's one way we could approach this problem?
Well, you could make you can't do the 4 corners of the rectangle because you can't have I guess you could approach it like, I guess, the 4 corners way. You just pick the 4 corners.
Okay.
But the problem with this is you can't pick any 4 corners.
Ah.
So you can't pick 1, 2, 3, 4. This isn't going to be a rectangle.
Okay. What can we pick though?
Well, we can pick 2, I guess. We can pick. We have to pick 2 parallel.
Okay. Pick one here, one here.
And it has to be parallel, and it has to be and they have to line up. They have to be. This has to be a right angle here.
Okay. But I'm picking this column and this column.
Yeah.
And then what do I do for the rows?
Well, you'd have to pick, you could pick a 3rd point, and then your 4th point would be determined by this point and this point.
Ah, but I'm just picking these columns. I'm saying my rectangles will be bounded by these columns.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it starts up here necessarily.
So, well, then you could pick 2 points
Okay.
to define your rectangle.
All right. Well.
1 point would be on here. 1 point would be on here.
Okay. So just to show that I could pick separate points, I could pick here and here. Right.
Yeah.
And what would my rectangle be? Can you outline it? So I'm saying it's in this column, and this column, and this row, and this row. Okay, so that's a rectangle.
Yeah.
Is there any other choices of rows and columns that produces that rectangle?
Well, if you're just choosing your rows, no.
Okay.
But if you're choosing columns, well, no, this rectangle, you cannot make this rectangle any other way.
Interesting. So what should this formula be for counting rectangles here then?
So so you have to figure out how many points you have, because each point would determine a column.
Okay, so how many points do I have going across this way?
You 5.
5.
5.
And you have 4 going across down.
Okay, so I have 5, even though this is 4 long, the unit's long, 1, 2, 3, 4.
You have to have your 5.
I have 5 points I can choose from. So how many choices do I have there?
You have 5. 5 here.
Okay, so how many choices do I have to pick the columns?
You have 5, choose 2.
5, choose 2. And what about for the rows? Can you tell me?
Well, you have 4, choose 2.
4, choose 2 choices for the rows. So what does that imply that the number of rectangles is going to be?
So it would be whatever 5, choose times 4, choose 2.
Alright, do you know what 5, choose 2 is?
I 10.
10. What's 4, choose 2?
It's 12. Or yeah, no. So it's 6. Not
Okay. 10 times 6, which is
60.
60. So there's 60 rectangles here,
Yeah.
which would have been fairly difficult to count via a normal counting procedure.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And I'm going to show you another way to look at this problem. Okay? A different way, but How much time do we have left on the battery?
1 minute.
1 minute. Okay, so can you run upstairs and get the power cord?